My name's Sam Franklin. I'm a physical therapist. I had braces when I was younger, but seemed to fall off with the retainer in the years after. And then over time, I just noticed that I was getting progressively more asymmetry in my jaw. It was really shifted to the left. I felt like all of the contact force was on my front teeth, and I was noticing some chipping. So that was my initial reason for getting any sort of orthodontic consult. Then after reading up on, or finding out that I had a narrow palate, and then reading up on the fact that that was connected to my kind of lifelong inability to breathe through my nose well, that really significantly impacted my sleep quality, I was like, okay, well, there's a lot of reasons I should do something to address this. Well, I took a breathwork course, partially just out of personal interest in relation to fitness and health and things like that. And obviously the fact that I was learning how important nasal breathing is, and that I had a hard time with it. And so I was doing a lot of breath work on my own, trying to see if I could get some expansion, breathing through one nostril at a time, mouth tape, which was rough because I think I was kind of suffocating myself. Just a lot of breath work and trying to minimize mouth breathing as much as I could, but it was kind of clear that I was limited by the structure of my sinuses because it wasn't making significant change in my sleep quality. Because I had suffered from insomnia for years, and I wanted to not lose my front teeth. So then I got a couple consults just through my insurance, and the surgeons I spoke with had recommended, I think the two I saw were recommending 2 procedures that sounded really invasive, and 2 separate recovery timelines, and hardware and all that, so I was not thrilled. The traditional one scared me. I was not happy about that being something I might potentially need to do, because it just sounded really traumatic. And this was there's some metal in the roof of your mouth that isn't comfortable, but it's like a couple screw holes and a couple small incisions. After the swelling went down, you couldn't tell. So, I think I was very happy that this procedure exists at the time when I was needing to address this. I would have been so upset if I had to do the old procedure and then found out about this one. When I did a little more research and spoke to my current orthodontist, he told me about this kind of gradual palate expansion procedure that seemed to also really do well, providing improvements in nasal breathing and sounded much less invasive. So I was pretty excited about that. It seemed like the right route to go for all of the symptoms I was having, and it was. I noticed improvements in the nasal breathing really quickly, right when I started to crank it, and then even exponentially more once it felt like most of the healing had occurred. It didn't seem like there was a lot of swelling or anything left, and so everything opened up even more, and it has maintained, if not gotten even gradually better, because now I can I basically can exercise and breathe through my nose almost the entire time, and there was a couple months where I was able to breathe through my nose, but I think I was so used to sleeping just slack-jawed, and so, but now it's no problem. I just keep I think that there's no restriction through my nose, so I'm just able to keep my lips closed at night, and that has been massive in my sleep quality, less anxiety, just throughout the day in general. That's been the most significant improvement in my quality of life, and it has been very significant. like life-changing. And then the bite also feels great. Like I still have a little bit to go on aligning, but it's almost done, and I can actually feel, my molars contact and not just my front teeth where the chipping and eroding was occurring. So it's been, and actually I was getting, one thing I forgot to mention, I would get intermittent jaw pain for years, just like as the asymmetry was worse. And I don't think I've had one episode of that since. It just feels like everything, aligns better. I can open my mouth as wide as I want without getting this like kind of painful clunking back into place. So really, I mean, in the three areas that were the reason for me like pursuing this, they're all significantly better. I mean, just resolved really. I think it happened at the right time. It was like all of these things connecting. Like, okay, I'm getting my jaw pain more. The teeth are starting to show damage. I learned how much my lack of nasal breathing was affecting my sleeping. So it happened all at the right time. I would say do it. It's a no-brainer, I think. It's an uncomfortable process, kind of like any procedure is. But I mean, to have a year of discomfort in exchange for the rest of your life sleeping well, which is going to massively impact the rest of your health and physical and mental, and just feeling refreshed when you wake up and not like you're constantly exhausted. I mean, that is like, there's nothing more worth it than that. So, I mean, I say absolutely go for it.